computer. Okay. In today's class, we are going to learn FDD. What is FDD in the sense? It's a feature-driven development. So driven development is one of the agile framework, one of the agile methodology. So here we are having many methodologies under the agile framework. So among them, this is one of them. Already we have seen, we have discussed two methodologies under agile. This is the third one. FDD is the third one. So it organizes software development around making progress on features. So we are showing some progress or we are developing some features. Okay, by that we can be achieved the total process, isn't it? Here we are going to develop a project based on a feature. It will progress in day-to-day work, isn't it? So in such a manner, we are going to develop a software under the FDD, right? So what is exactly FDD here? Exactly, FDD is like user stories in Scrum. We have seen the concept of Scrum. In that Scrum, we have some user stories. What are the user stories? So these are the requests or features which are added to our projects. Individual, okay, requests or features of a client, isn't it? So those are called user stories. So those user stories are also called as features in our feature driven development. Okay, individual single story is called one of the feature. And also we may call, okay, it's a complete the login process. If you'll think, this is the one of the process, or it may be act as a single function under the total project. For example, in our project, we are having many kinds of subparts in our project. Okay, each and every subpart is a one kind of, it leads one kind of function. It is used for one kind of purpose. Based on that purpose, it will give the results to us. So that purpose, that task is also called as a feature here, isn't it? Okay, one project have number of different modules or number of different sub-programs. Each and every sub-program would give some set of results based on that requirement or based on that program nature. So that is a one kind of feature, right? And coming to next one, FDD was designed follow 5-step. Here we are having some 5-step development process, right? And also these 5-step development process will be executed in discrete manner, which means for each and every features we must need, okay, so follow these steps. So these are the steps for a project life cycle, SDLC cycle, okay, in FDD. So what are those steps here? First one is develop an overall model. Second one is, okay, build a feature list. Third one is plan by feature. Fourth one is design by feature. And the fifth one is build by feature. Okay, these are the overall 5 steps for 5 phases, project phases for a feature development, feature driven development. Clear? If we are going to, okay, See these five features as a diagram. Okay, this is the diagram for the FDD by implementing those five features. Phases. What is the first phase? Development and overall model. First of all, we are going to shape out the total content, total system or total project. And in that project, first if we are going to take one project, okay, so overview of that project. And in second step, we are going to build some features list, which means we are going to divide overall project into a number of parts. Okay, so number of parts in the sense list, subprograms or modules. Okay, for example, the overall project or overall model in the sense, okay, if you want to construct one building, okay, building construction is overall model of a building. Okay, so with how many number of rooms and also so what is the each room size, everything, if you plan some outline of that particular building structure is called a overall model. Coming to the second one, build a feature list. Here in second step, here we are going to build how many rooms exactly we need. So so how many rooms we need, among them how many bedrooms you need. Okay, do we need any kitchen or living hall or not, only one do you need any drawing room or not, and some library room or study room or not, like that. So total how many number of rooms are there in our particular house, and according to the particular purpose of each and every room, you are going to, okay, build, so you are going to add some features, you are going to implement okay, some features or execute something according to the requirement of that particular room. Okay, if you are in need of some that is for kitchen room, means what you need there, okay, you need some sink or something, and some cupboards, okay, like that. If it is a living room, so nothing, no need of taps or nothing is needed, just it's like a empty hall, like one hall like. So each and every room has some few requirements. So here also we are going to divide our total project into a number of modules. Each module is called a feature, or otherwise we are going to, okay, divide our task into a subtasks or subprograms. Each and every subtask will give one set of results here, one kind of outputs here, isn't it? So adding of these all the outputs only, we will finish off one project. Otherwise, if any one feature, okay, not completed properly, then we won't get a final outcome, isn't it? So like that. So first of all, we should take the overall what shape of a content or project, whichever we have chosen. After the project chosen and after some outlines we have what discussed on to that particular project, then you are going to build some future features. Then you are going to build some features in the sense of subtasks or user stories. Clear? According to each and every feature, now plan by feature. Take one by one feature and plan that feature. And according to the plan, we are going to make some design on that particular feature. So after designing phase, you are going to construct or you are going to write the code of that feature. After completion of designing and coding, then you are going to pick up a second feature. Plan for the second feature, design for the second feature, build for the second feature. So like that, you should work on completely, right? So iteratively, these steps will be executed. So same in Scrum also we are going to implement same process. There at least not only individual, we are going to take at a time 2-3 stories to execute. It's based on organization. Okay, here we are going to take one story. That's it. Clear? And coming to the next slide. So it has some strengths of FDD and some weaknesses of FDD. Okay, what are the strengths for FDD? It is a simple 5-step process. What it is? It is a simple 5-step process that allow for more rapid development, which means fast working nature. It has some fast working nature. Why? Because it has only 5 steps into this particular process. 5 phases only we have. Clear? That is the one of the strength of this one. And coming to the second strength, allow larger teams to move products forward with continuous success. If you want to, okay, do work fastly, then you may increase the team sizes. Okay, if you want to improve your fastness of your project work, then you should increase your team size also. Okay, so it will be allowed such kind of things in FDD. And coming to the third one, here there are predefined development standards are there. Okay, why? Because some predefined things based on that particular diagram already. First, I mean, at second phase itself, we are going to collect all the features. Okay, by based on that features, by necessity of that features, we may increase some number of team members more itself, isn't it? So there is a predefined okay development, okay, how to build those, how to construct those, some predefined rules and regulations also available in this FDD nature. Why? Because you should work fastly on that particular project, isn't it? If you got clear idea about your what building construction, you may include more number of people to work on that particular what construction of individual rooms, isn't it? At the same time, you will bring many people, okay, many labor who are having the capacity to construct building fastly. So ask them to come one day. And even if you have a skilled person, okay, and more number of people, you may finish off your building construction within a week. Your house will get ready within a week. How it is possible? With the support of labor, with the support of some management people, whoever included in that. You are capable enough, you have money, more money with you, so then take more number of labors and finish off that building within a week or within a 5 days time. So like that here also. So it, but while working on with that, each and everything should be planned, and you should show the how you are if somebody is going to construct some kitchen, you should show, so what is the structure of that kitchen and how they should build that one. Okay, so like that, some pre-planned must need to construct something, isn't it? Here also, if you want to include more and more people to work on this our project, in the sense, you should need some pre-planned or pre-development methodologies and rules and regulations on that particular project, isn't it? These are all the strengths of this particular FDD. Coming to weaknesses. Coming to weaknesses. So it does not work efficiently for a smaller project. If you are going to handle big project, then you can choose this kind of nature or this kind of FDDs. Okay, don't use this kind of structure to a smaller projects. This is not suitable that much. Okay, If you want to construct big kind of buildings, then we need of some many people support. If you want to construct only one room or two rooms, I mean generally, so in such a case, do we going for that kind of engineers to construct such kind of rooms? No. If you want to construct big building, then you need some engineers to support, some labor. You need more labor and something technical people. I mean, whoever more. I mean, experts on that particular thing. So you need that kind of peoples, some engineers or something. But if you want to build one room or single room or two rooms, there is no need of such kind of people, isn't it? Okay, such kind of capacities. Don't no need to waste such kind of capacities and times to do for small projects, isn't it? So this is like that. And coming to the second point, less written document. So it doesn't. It has only okay less documentation. They are always concentrate on okay working, which means development, which means coding part only. So they don't concentrate on much on documentation. If the documentation is not clear, okay, it may be not useful for next generation people or for some other project. If everything is documented, whatever the points we have included in to that particular project, everything should be documented. That document may be useful for some other project or some other work or somewhere else. But if it is not mentioned clearly, okay, is it useful one? No, not that much useful one. Okay, if we got any kind of errors in such a projects also, we can't find easily. We can't find faults where we did some mistakes like that. Why? Because we don't have any kind of documents now. So we don't find any kind of mistakes. So it will be some little time taken process, isn't it? So it is the second point. It has only less written document. It's also one of the drawback. And coming to last one, highly dependent on lead developers and programmers. It is highly dependent on developers and programs. Why? Because almost they are concentrated on coding, no? So here the experts need to develop this kind of projects. Okay, this is about FDD. Okay, feature driven development. So total project based on a features. Feature in the sense stories, whichever we have learned in previous class. Clear? So remaining thing, total same, 5 phases and execution of 5 phases. Everything is same. Okay. Right. Now I'm going to stop the class. Wait a moment.